There are several male stereotypes in the world, but the Sigma male is the most misunderstood. People think that Sigma men are too difficult to understand, so they just ignore them. While it is true that they are not easily approachable, they tend to be very good friends and loyal lovers to those close to them. Sigma males are well-behaved and never act irrationally like other men. They always maintain a calm composure no matter the circumstance, which is quite rare amongst other breeds of men. Though they do not care about how people see them, they will never cross boundaries or do inappropriate things. They are gentle and high-value men who will never try to attract any unnecessary attention to themselves, especially in public. Their strong and quiet presence earns people's respect, making them powerful figures. Because of the way Sigma sees himself, there are certain things he will never do, especially when he's out in public. He tries to reflect his inner maturity even in the smallest things. So without further ado, here are 10 things Sigma males never do in public. 1. Constantly adjusting genitalia. Some men can often be seen subtly adjusting and rubbing themselves, and while it may be considered normal behavior, the Sigma male will never do this in public. Not only is it inappropriate and improper, but it can also distract people and give off an unfavorable presence. Imagine the kind of impression you would give off if you were constantly adjusting your genitalia while talking to someone or standing in line, or even worse, while in a meeting. Sigma males know how to act accordingly and will never flaunt such behaviors. While these may be considered minor details for some men, for Sigma, it's about projecting an image of respect and maturity. If you must adjust your things, do it discreetly and out of sight. It's like a little secret between you and your body. The problem is that some men are comfortable with adjusting their genitalia in public. They don't mind doing it over and over, even if the people around them are uncomfortable. This is something Sigma will never do because they are mature enough not to embarrass themselves or the people around them. 2. Manspreading. Have you ever seen a guy on a bus or train who takes up enough room for 2 or 3 more people because he spreads his legs wide? That's called manspreading, and it is something that Sigma males would never do in public. Not only is it annoying and rude to the people around him, but it also makes him look unrefined and uncultured. People will think twice before sitting next to someone who takes up more than their fair share of the seat. This small gesture reflects a lot about a man's character, especially when done in public. Even if a few people are on board, the Sigma will ensure his legs are not too wide apart, as it could make the other passengers uncomfortable. Some men do this on purpose because they think it makes them look powerful and manly. But this type of behavior does just the opposite. It shows a lack of self-awareness and consideration for others. Trying to show off or prove something is not the Sigma way, so they will avoid this kind of attitude at all costs. 3. Talking loudly in the metro. I don't think I need to explain why talking loudly in public places is rude. It's annoying and disrespectful to those who are trying to concentrate or just relax on their journey. But some people don't seem to understand this and will continue shouting no matter how much it bothers others. They don't care about the glares they get for being too loud or the people who have to listen to their conversations. While there are certain situations where it's okay to talk at a higher volume, like if you're trying to get someone's attention or in an emergency, talking loudly on the metro is not one of them. You might think it's not a big deal, but imagine how you would feel if someone else did the same thing. Or even worse, hearing 3 people having a loud conversation at the same time. People must also use public transport, and Sigma men will never be so inconsiderate as to disturb their fellow passengers. They will either keep their conversations short and quiet or take them elsewhere if they need more privacy. Some men talk loudly about business deals or a project they have been working on and think it makes them look important. This type of behavior does not impress anyone and can even be seen as arrogant and obnoxious. A Sigma man will always have enough respect to not discuss such matters in a public setting, as he knows it is not only annoying but also disrespectful. 4. Humiliating someone. Some people enjoy humiliating others. They are simply mean and think it's okay to put down other people's self-esteem in public. They do not care about the emotional damage they inflict on the other person. They are often insecure and try to cover it up by showcasing their superiority, especially those they have authority over. A Sigma male will never do such a thing even though he is in a higher position than that person. Hurting people unnecessarily is not in his nature, and he will always choose to handle situations in a graceful manner. He understands that everyone has flaws, so instead of humiliating them, he will try to help them improve their weaknesses while showing respect and compassion. Those who try humiliating people in public are often desperate for attention and power. They want to seem superior, but in reality, they are just making themselves look bad. While it may be tempting to put someone in their place, a Sigma male will never stoop to that level, especially in public. Of course, this doesn't mean that Sigma males don't get angry or upset. They just know how to channel their emotions in a healthy and appropriate way. They never resort to humiliation as a way of dealing with conflict or disagreement. This is what makes them stand out from the rest of the crowd. 5. Cutting in line. Imagine standing in a queue for 20 minutes, and when it is approaching your turn, someone cuts in line and stands in front of you. What do you say to such a person? Some people feel they can outsmart other people by skipping the line. They feel that they shouldn't have to wait like others because they think they are more special than other people. Sigma males do not act this way even if they are in a really high position. Using your status to get ahead of people is not the way to go, even if you are in a hurry. You don't know how many are in a hurry as well and how long they have been waiting, so why take their place? A Sigma will always respect other people's time and wait his turn regardless of how busy he is. He knows that everyone is equal and deserves the same courtesy no matter who they are. He will patiently wait for his turn, even if it means being late for an appointment or meeting. It's not other people's fault for their late arrival, so why should they be punished for it? While most people think that Sigma males don't care about rules, this is far from the truth. They do not care about meaningless rules, but they do respect the ones that are there to ensure everyone is treated fairly. 6. Eating noisily. Some people have no problem making loud noises while they are eating. They don't even realize that there are others around them that could be disturbed by the noise. Even if they do know, they don't care enough to stop and consider the impact it might have on others. On the other hand, a Sigma male knows that eating noisily is not only rude but also tasteless. He will never make any noise while he is eating, regardless of the loudness or kinds of food he is devouring. He will also be mindful of being too messy when eating in public and will always clean up after himself. It is the polite thing to do, and he would expect everyone else to follow the same rule. Public places are meant for everyone to enjoy, so they must be respected accordingly. Making too much noise or being a mess only ruins the experience for everyone else. Sigma males are also very polite when it comes to sharing food with others. They also do not stare at other people while eating and won't try to draw attention by making unnecessary noises. They have very good table manners and will never make other people uncomfortable. 7. Making a scene. Sigma males always try to prevent drawing attention to themselves. They prefer not to be noticed by too many people when they are in public. They want a low-key life, so they always try to stay away from trouble. A Sigma will never intentionally make a scene in public because he does not want to be at the center of any kind of drama. Some people have the habit of causing chaos and do this intentionally to draw people's attention. They are drawn to conflict and enjoy causing a scene even over very little things. Such people view everything as offensive and always get the bad picture out of every situation. However, a Sigma male will never do this. He understands that making a scene is unnecessary and will only cause more trouble than it's worth. He would rather remain calm and try to resolve the situation in a peaceful manner. Being loud and aggressive does not solve any problem and can often worsen the situation. 8. Being glued to their phones. Almost every single person has a smartphone, and it is hard to ignore the temptation of checking it in public. We've become so addicted to our phones that it's almost impossible to part with them for a few hours. People use their phones for various reasons, but many do not realize how much of their life they are missing out on by being glued to the screen. It's even worse when you're with others and can't seem to look away from your phone. It's like you're ignoring the person in front of you and paying more attention to your device. On the other hand, a Sigma male will always enjoy the moments with friends and family. He won't let his phone take precedence over quality time spent with the people he cares about. He will put his phone away when he is in a social setting or even when he is alone and try to live in the moment instead. Of course, there will be times when he needs to check his phone for an important matter, but he won't let it take over his life. He has more important things to do and cherish, so he will make sure he pays his full attention to them. 9. Giving in to peer pressure. Unlike most people, Sigma males are not easily swayed by others. They're not overly influenced by their peers and will always do what they feel is right and not what others tell them to do. There is no denying that everyone faces some kind of peer pressure. Maybe your friends are trying to make you do something you don't want to or change the way you think about something. No one escapes peer pressure. However, Sigma males do not give in easily like other people. They stand by their choices even if no one backs them up. They're not cowards who will give in to what other people say because they fear losing them. They do not try to please anyone with their actions. They do what they feel is right, no matter the consequences. And if they lose a few friends while doing so, they are not bothered because those people never really cared about them in the first place. Sigma men also avoid keeping friends that force them to do things against their will. They know that loyalty, respect, and trust are the foundation of any good relationship, and they will not risk it by giving in to peer pressure. 10. Pretending to be someone they're not. The world is full of fake people who pretend to be someone else for the sake of fitting in or looking cool. They act differently when they're with certain people, changing their opinions and values based on who they're with. This fake behavior is very common in today's society, and more people are getting sucked into it. It's like they're trying to impress everyone around them to get their approval. On the other hand, Sigma males have no interest in pretending to be someone else. They are real and honest about who they are and don't care what other people think of them. They do not change their values or beliefs just because it makes them look better in the eyes of others. Sigma men will always stay true to themselves no matter the circumstances, which should be admired. There is nothing fake about their life. They are not people pleasers and will never lie or do something to make others happy. They're not everyone's cup of tea, but that doesn't stop them from being authentic. Sigmas are always genuine, and this is something most people have lost because they try to play by other people's rules.